Hi guys, welcome to Panama City, Panama, although I'm still in Florida. So I'm going to catch you up on my 4 days in Panama City. I think I'll break this into 2 videos because a lot happened in those 4 days. So interesting thing before I even got to Panama was trying to get on the plane to Panama. So I took this flight from Cartagena, got to the airport, was doing my check-in, and they asked me if I had a ticket out of Panama. So I said, yeah, I did. Luckily I did, because usually I don't have flights in advance, but I was coming home for the holidays. Anyways, and then she needed proof of my flight leaving Panama before I even got on the plane. So I ended up having to leave the airport, go across the street to this place where I could pull up my flight information to go back to Atlanta, print that out, and show them that I had a flight leaving Panama. Anyways, so that was the beginning, just getting there. And then once I arrived to Panama City in the airport, they also asked me for the same thing. So I was really surprised because that's the first time I've run into that this entire trip. But anyways, luckily I had that and I was able to get in, which means when I go back to Panama, it looks like I'm gonna have to buy a flight beforehand or they won't let me in Panama once again. So ran into that, but made it there okay. Let me catch you up on some things that I learned or observed before I get into what I did. But so I noticed out of everywhere I've been so far, although I know the rest is Europe, but before it was Colombia, Panama has the greatest US influence of anywhere I've been so far on the trip. So a lot of the same restaurants and shops, you'll see names of places in English, although Spanish is spoken definitely like everywhere. A lot of SUVs, which usually you see a lot of smaller cars, you know, in other parts of the world. Also a lot of high-rises. Panama City has a lot of nice high-rises. They also have a lot of casinos there. And I also heard it's not just Panama City, but also like all of Panama has lots of casinos. So I noticed that. A couple words that I noticed they use a lot is like joven and bro. So joven, they use it like when they're trying to get someone's attention, but it means young, but they use it pretty much for like everyone. So instead of saying excuse me or like sir, miss, whatever, they'll just be like joven. So anyways, kind of funny listening to that, even when the person's like in their 40s or something. And then bro is more used between maybe more guy friends, I would say, like dude or man, something like that. So picked up on those things. Also learned that guns are legal in Panama, although they're really hard to get. So of course they're legal in the US, but not hard enough to get. There they are legal, but apparently they're hard to get. So learned about that, and also that Panama actually used to be part of Colombia until the early 1900s when Panama got their independence. So a few interesting notes there about the country. So when I first got in, we got some lunch. I was staying kind of with like extended family, friends of the family sort of. And then later, so staying in a nice condominium where all the nice condos are. So later we walked around that area, checked out the other nice condos and like went up, saw some awesome views of the city, the skyline, have some like infinity pools up there with amazing views. So it was cool checking out those like nice spots. Also, like one of the buildings, which is half condo, half hotel, apparently Shakira and like Juan Luis Guerra have a place there. So I think everything kind of shuts down when they're in town, but checked out that area. And then the next day later on walked along the cinta costera, it's called. So basically they have this nice like walkway along the water. People run and jog and bike, that sort of thing. Just nice to go along the water. And they were also setting up for a parade. So I saw a little bit of that, not too much, but some of it. They were setting up for a Christmas parade. And then later we went to, it's called Isla Flamenco, which used to be a military base. But now it's this little island you can drive onto. Also has an area to like until you sort of get to the end where you can kind of walk and bike. And towards the end they have, you know, restaurants and shops. It's touristy, but a nice area also. And then took a ride through Casco Antiguo, which is like the old city. So Also a really cute area, like probably one of or the most touristy. Similar to other old towns, but really cute, colorful, you know, shops, restaurants, old churches, that sort of thing. So check that out. And then the following day, took a trip to the outskirts of the city. So we went to Playa Caracol, which is like one of the nicest beaches outside of the city. All the real nice beaches, you gotta go far away. So this one was like an hour away, and still that's kind of the nicest, close to Panama City, and there was no one there either. They're just starting to build some like condos, I guess, or hotels out there. Then we went to El Valle de Antón, which is more in the mountains, valley, and we went to this little nature preserve called El Chorro Macho, where they have a waterfall, some little pathways with like hanging bridges, and a natural pool you can swim in, stuff like that. Also went to the zoo over there, which is far away from the city, but surprisingly they have like a lot of animals out there, lots of different birds, but they even have like jaguars, saw some monkeys, so all sorts of things at the zoo. And then stopped at this little market they had where they were selling some things, and also to this viewpoint where you could kind of see out into the mountains. A lot of it had grown over, so like it's kind of hard to see all the view, but check that out. And then later stopped for some lunch, had some yuca, which is like potato, and some ribs and stuff like that, so trying some typical foods. And then later that evening went out back in town to this place called Bros and Beers. It was like a friend of a friend's work Christmas party kind of. So I got to try some Panamanian rum, which was called Ron Abuelo. It was kind of strong though, maybe it was just too much, but I've tried other ones I liked more. And then I also tried their national drink alcohol, which is called seco. I actually like that more. That was good, mixed with like Sprite. So try that out. And also had hallacas, which is like a traditional Venezuelan dish that they eat over the holidays, also similar to tamales and pasteles. So I've learned lots of Latin countries, they all eat this similar food traditionally for Christmas time, but they end up eating it at other times of the year just because they like it. Anyways, so that was like the first couple days or few days, and I will catch you guys up next time with the rest of my stay in Panama City. Talk to you then. Bye.